Hey everybody, I hope you are staying warm. I think like 3/4 of the country is in the deep freeze. But anyway, it is a challenge, winter. I'm telling you, I couldn't live any further north than I am right now. So anyway, I'm just opening up a pack of the patches that I got, and I'm telling you, I was getting low on one of these particular patches that JT and I both wear. And so I was ready for it to get here, and because I don't want to go a day without patching. That they have just changed my outlook on life and really how I feel, okay? And so I know there's a lot of people out there who are struggling, okay? And I thought, as I got into my, I guess when I started patching, I was 63, and I was starting to feeling like knee issues and ankle issues and all that kind of stuff. And I thought, okay, I got to do something to combat that, to address that. And y'all, I do. I take supplements. Whenever I go to the doctor's office, they say, okay, what medications you're on? I'm like, vitamins and minerals. And I've gotten to where I take a list because they ask me what, and I'll just give them the list. Okay, so anyway, you've got to be proactive in staying healthy. Okay, and that's one of the reasons why I've started this reset group and have the reset guide that I'm sending out. It's going to be very small, incremental steps. Okay, simple steps, things that you can do and build upon, okay? Because it is the daily activity that is going to be the most rewarding to you, okay? So let me tell you a little bit about the patches, because I know a lot of people think, okay, when I start getting out there and walking or going to the gym or whatever it is that you're increasing your activity level, then you're going to encounter some muscle soreness, joint discomfort, like I did, okay? That is part of getting started, okay? But the patches that I use, they help with muscle recovery, and they help with performance also. Now, if you've been following me, I am lifting heavier weights because of my osteoporosis. I'm trying to rebuild my bone without medications, okay? And I want to keep my muscles, obviously, in good shape. The muscles and the bones go together. When you work one, you're working the other. And so I'm working really hard on my lower back. And so, you think, okay, I'm going to encounter some soreness. And I did from time to time, okay? But since I started patching, I really don't anymore. My recovery time is much, much faster. Occasionally I'll say, oh, I worked that muscle, today. And so, but I stick a patch on it, and it's really quickly it starts to recover, and I don't have that the next day at all, okay? And so that is one of the reasons why I'm a big fan. My joints feel so much better. I just have this overall feeling of wellness, okay? And I'm not hurting and aching and, all that kind of stuff like that. Okay, so one of them, this was the one I was running low on, okay, is one that is for overall health, okay, and general wellness. And so when I got the package open, I stuck it right here on the back of my neck. That's one of the places that it is clinically tested for. But I'll tell you something kind of interesting. I've got a place in my elbow, I fell several years ago at school, tripped on the sidewalk, wasn't watching where I was going. There was a little buck up on the sidewalk, and I had an armful of stuff, of course, and I fell and I hit my elbow, and so occasionally it kind of bothers me from time to time. And so I will, if it's really bothering me, I will take that patch off the back of my neck and stick it around that area. And it's kind of like acupressure. It just feels better very quickly, okay? And so just in the general area of wherever you're having some issues like that, okay? But like I said, for general wellness, I stick it on the back of my neck, and that's kind of my first spot to do that as, in a daily kind of thing. Okay, so let me tell you about this. This particular patch that I'm talking about, along with our Cellar Jaws morning formula, has just won a biotech award for the best stem cell innovation for 2025. Best new stem cell innovation for 2025, okay? And so every morning I put a scoop of this in water, mix it up really good, throw a little ice in it, have it in my tumbler, take it to the gym, and sip on it while I'm working out. And it really, the two together are a great combo. Okay, now this other patch, and like I said, these are the performance patches. Okay, this one I'm wearing for bones and muscles, but it also has a lot of other benefits, has been clinically tested for some other good areas too. But they mainly help with energy in your body, moving around. So I stick this one usually at the base of my spine, okay? Lower the lumbar area, basically. And so I put that there, to work on the spinal area that I'm trying to rebuild, okay, to support that. And I'll tell you this, here's the thing about supplements and all. As I said, I'm a huge believer in supplements. You've got to give your body the raw materials that it needs to make repairs. But the patches are kind of like the contractor that you hire, or if you're lucky enough to have a husband that does repairs, somebody that knows what they're doing that comes in to make the repairs. Okay, so think about that. You've got to have the raw materials to make the repairs. You got to get the building supply to deliver them, or you've got to go get the materials that you need for the job. And then you've got to have somebody that knows what to do with them. And our body knows how to repair itself. But over time, and with all the things that we're exposed to in our environment, we lose that signal. Your muscles and your bones talk to each other, and they talk to all your body systems. And, when you're not doing anything with your muscles and your bones, then you're going to lose that signaling. So these signal the body to repair, okay, and to move the energy around where it is needed. So they're really great. We are both loving those, and it's just one of the easiest things that I've ever done. Okay, so if you need a reset button, I titled this, then here's your reset button, okay? And just try these. Now, I will say you need to be committed to wearing them for at least 6 months or 1 month per decade of life. Now that I'm 65, that would mean if I was just starting out, I would wear them for 7 months. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not going to be without them, okay, because of the improvement in my stamina, my performance, my recovery, just overall well-being. I'm going to stick with them, okay? And so if you're interested in learning more about the Cellar Jaws or the patch that goes with it, or if you're really wanting to build that muscle and bone, then let me know. And hey, there's like a patch and chat tonight on Zoom at 7 Central. This is one that is really, really good. The people who do this one are very knowledgeable, and they can give you a lot of suggestions for different things that are going on in your body. This is one that I don't like to miss. There's also one on Sunday night with some doctors, homeopathic doctors, that kind of give commentary on different people's testimonies about what they've seen happen with the patches. We have several calls throughout the week, and if you're like me, you'll be cooking supper or something like that when you're listening, and I just turn my camera off, I turn my speaker off, and I just listen, okay, while I'm cooking. So if you are interested in hearing some more information, not just listening to me, okay, listening to other people who've had great results, then drop me a line and I will send you an invitation to get on to that Zoom call tonight. Okay? All right. Talk to you later. Bye.